Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN, joined by IGN's Grand Theft Auto super knowledgeable man. No one knows more about this game in this office than you, Jared Petty.
Praise too high there, Ryan, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So, Jared, we finally got a look at GTA Online Heists that's been promised since the game came out game first came out on the last consoles over a year ago.
This was one of the things. Here they are. This is one of the things that first brought my attention to the game, and it has come out finally at long last.
It hasn't come out.
Okay,
let's stop right there.
True.
This is our first look at them in this trailer. We were given a date. There's an interview on IGN.com that accompanies this trailer. I would highly recommend you take a look at it with one of the lead designers on GTA Online Heists. And he gives a lot of great detail. So we're looking at early 2015 for this, but I know it's still not technically real.
I'm just so eager. It looks real. There are pictures of it. It must exist.
It must exist.
And
so
I'm very excited about this.
Let's go frame by frame here. There's a lot to look at.
There is.
So we're starting our first. There's a bank heist. Now we get a look at, I think, 3 different heists here. There are 5.
Yeah.
It's going to ship with 5 out of the gate.
Are you okay with stopping here a second?
Yeah,
just what right here. First off, we see Lester, which is interesting. Here we have Lester popping up.
So one of you will play. It's 4 players.
Yeah.
One of you will be the leader, and the other 3 are just crew. Now the leader. Actually, I'll just let this run so there's something interesting to look at. The leader gets called by Lester, organizes the job, recruits the crew, assigns the jobs as far as your role on the team, whether it's demolitions or pilot, picks your outfits, but also has to front the cash.
Right.
Doesn't get paid until the heist is done.
So there's a risk-reward factor. If you want to organize this, you're betting a little bit that you can pull this off correctly. So you've got a great incentive to follow the thing through, put a good crew together, and complete it optimally. And there's lots of other incentives that are tucked in there that you can talk about later, Ryan. But I do love this thing. Starts with Lester kind of sitting there going, hey, it's you just weren't ready, and it's a kind of a wonderful
poke at themselves.
Yeah, poke at themselves for what happened in the game. I appreciated that little bit of humor.
Yeah, you've been complaining.
You weren't ready. Yeah, exactly.
So right here, as we start, here's a look at a heist in progress. We've got 1 player on a jet ski, 2 player on the jet ski, and then 2 more players we'll see in a second in the helicopter heading towards this yacht.
Yep, pursuing it there, and then we're going to see him on the deck here in a second, right?
By the way, it is worth mentioning for the 4 players, you all have to be rank 12 or higher in order to do heists.
Which is not all that hard to get to.
So, 1, 2 players, and then as you can see in the helicopter, 3, 4.
Right there. And then they head onto the boat. They're clearing things out here along
and you can see where you are. There's the
Ferris wheel back there behind you. Yeah. So you're not far offshore here at all. I like that. Oh, and there in the background we see the first, and we're going to see a lot of this. Rockstar, I think, very intentionally, knowing that people are going to stop and do this, lots of details about bits of the missions showing up here behind.
Yeah, so I wrote down as much as I could. So in this scene, we can read, Phase 1, observe security at the Fleesa Bank on the Western Highway, then collect Paige and some Paige being a person, Paige and some equipment from the factory, and come back to the apartment to plan the score. Phase 2 says players required is 4, which is, of course, for all these. And then source can't make it out. It's currently being can't make it out. Little Soul stick-up crew in a Del Perro something parking lot.
This is sort of like deciphering a biblical codex, or perhaps that shield in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where half of it's broken off. Eventually we'll find the Knight's Tomb. We will uncover the rest of the words and know what these things are about. There we are. We have an assault here on a highway. Now, again, these are in no particular order. They're just showing us cool scenes. We know there's 5 different heists with over 20 missions, and we're seeing different pieces of them interspersed in no order here. But we know that one involves a bank job.
Right.
We know that another one involves we have the bank job,
the aircraft carrier, we'll get back to in a minute.
We have the yacht assault. Have
so we see at least those few, those 3 of the 5, and they claim 20 hours of gameplay for this plus replayability. So
and incentives to replay as team leader, to replay as a member, to go through and find different ways to do things.
I can't help but I always think of The Dark Knight.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're movies teach me that if I'm ever going to open a lockbox in a bank, I need a really big drill and something pulled over my face. Now,
new car.
New car moving along
Armored
here.
car.
And
bulletproof.
And I love the next shot that comes up after this. It's wonderful. And there we are.
And there's our escape.
Yeah, here's
the
how we
next
get away.
Sequence of that.
First thing's a plane.
Now here we have. Okay, now we remember
we can
this.
see this again.
From GTA's single-player heist mode, we had these preparatory missions. Now,
Yes.
we know from your interview that Rockstar put a lot of thought into how they wanted to keep things interesting for multiple players all doing things at the same time. So it looks like a lot of these may be happening simultaneously, and that people are moving in a sort of a interoperative way to make all the things that need to happen at the beginning of the mission happen so that you can pull off the final score. And here we have some of these listed out.
Yeah, again, I wrote down as much as I could. So on this one, it's the Vagos contraband smugglers, something, for getting the inmate out of the something, prison break, and then bus in a high-security convoy for something, clear of the authorities, store, and then car, poses cops and go into a something, transport schedule, the other something, stolen car from a cargo ship, and then a wet work, something about lawyers outside City Hall. Other half has to silently something, his guards, presumably take out.
Right, take out. And then we're going to see some clips from that action here ahead in just a second. So there's the plane, and there's the bus, and there we are doing the inmate transfer. And
Clearly, these are not police officers.
No, the man staring in the background there in the back right. I'm just wondering, he seems to realize that something's up.
Hey, wait a
It's
second.
like something here's not right, but they move on, and well, nothing happens. So I guess now again,
Another
over his
whiteboard.
shoulder, we can see all kinds of things here.
I did what I could. So prison break. It says prison break bus is number 2. Prison break station is number 3. Under 2, it says hijack a prison transport bus. Something use in the breakout. Something near Sandy Shores.
Now, one of the prerequisites that we have for these missions is a large apartment, so you can plan these things. Apparently,
that's right.
We're finally going to get a use for these properties that we've been purchasing in GTA Online. I kind of like that you sort of spread things out, and it looks like what we're going to see from future screens that some of the interface may be built into these boards,
right?
Which is really cool.
And I also like that these online heists are sort of woven organically into the game. The fact that you have to be level 12, you need a nice apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just this separate walled off thing. It's all living within the world of GTA Online.
Well, as we commented earlier, we know they've been planning this for a long time. It didn't turn out how they originally intended, obviously, from what they said in the interview, but they did intend an integration at one point, and they found a way to make that work, and I'm happy with that.
And then the other bit of the bottom of the whiteboard here under number 3 is prison break station. It says half the team has to get a something police station to get the presumably prisoner.
Okay.
So that's everything we could make out on that one.
All right. Yeah, we got some exciting scenes here. Oh, there we are. Oh, and we have trains. We have armored cars shooting machine guns at helicopters. We have just these are the moments you live for in GTA. This just kind of crazy, over the top Hollywood stuff, and I love it.
Now, are we going to be stealing some data here? Maybe doing some hacking on one of these jobs?
I wonder. I'm terrified that there might be an Ethernet plug-in minigame involved, in which case I'm out. But otherwise, I think we're in good shape here. And there it is. Okay, so we got an aircraft. And
yeah, here we
go.
I know this was your favorite
moment.
Part.
Yeah, I love the Hydra. Harriers.
VTOL.
Yep, Harriers are inherently just the coolest thing in the whole wide world. They're even Battlefield Earth. That monstrosity is made slightly better by the presence of Harriers.
Oh my goodness.
And yes, VTOL takeoff right here. Here we have the Hydra, sort of a hybrid here on from San Andreas, and it looks an awful lot like that. Maybe with a little more of a modern day F-35 look to it. Just
and
wonderful.
We're on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, we are.
How
We're
cool
on
is that?
I love that. That's just great. There was an aircraft carrier parked over here a few weeks ago. It was really cool. Did you see it?
I did not.
Just a few blocks from IGN headquarters. Anyway,
here's one more job board. So this one actually shows you the leader divvying up. I think this is the apartment.
Yeah,
this is
right
your
here.
apartment. You're divvying up the see on the map there on the left.
Yeah,
it shows you the locations of each job, and then it's showing the 4 players.
Yep.
Their their gamer tags, and then what their role is.
Yep, and you see their individual roles in the
gunner,
mission.
pilot, and then ground team. And then what their take is, the leader's taking, the greedy leader in this case is taking 55% of the cut.
But the leader's also taking all the risk, we know from your
true.
interview. So the leader takes a risk in cash but gets the biggest reward.
Yes.
And also, apparently from your interview, the leader doesn't get to collect till the very end.
Until the mission is successful.
Whereupon the crew members actually are going to get paid out a little more as
they
things
get paid
go on.
after each segment of each bit of the prep work for
Which
the job.
means theoretically you can at least double the replayability by playing once as a crew member and once as a leader.
And we've got our total payout there on this board, $670K for this particular heist.
Yeah,
so
which is a fair bit of cash in
a nice
GTA.
chunk of change.
Yeah. There we are. Oh, and airplanes
night
and
vision
night vision action going on here.
Simple.
So, and flares going up, and helicopters with miniguns hanging out there. And looky here, now we see what looks like a staging room. Now, we actually get a complete look at this board.
Yeah.
In addition to being able to see equipment and vehicles that have been chosen, whether there are choices on the mission or whether those are default, we don't know. But we can see whether or not player status is ready there over on the right of the screen, and we have a complete breakdown of the plan for this
is a
part of
different
this
job.
heist.
So we got a $550,000 payoff. And then let me see what we're here. So yeah, your roles here on this job are pilot, prison officer, and demolition. And then on the board it says the plan is get in the prison bus. So this is step one: get in the prison bus, park inside the prison, make your way through the prison to Rashkovsky, who is presumably who we're breaking out. Yeah. Step two is collect Rashkovsky, clear the area of Noose, which is of course GTA's version of SWAT.
Yep.
And then get in the Velum, which is a vehicle.
Yep. And then
Number 3 is regroup on the beach. Number 4 is return to the city.
None of which are going to be as easy as they sound like, I imagine.
Of course not.
Return to the city, with Hot Pursuit.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, I love this. I like seeing the rooms full of players. People have worked very hard to build these unique avatars in this world, and a lot of times cosmetically, other than standing on a street corner, you haven't really gotten a chance to do all that much interaction unless you went for some of that. If you wanted to hang out and watch a movie in an apartment, yeah, but people didn't do all that much of that in GTA. Now folks are going to have a great incentive to hang out together in these rooms, put these things together, show off the style, show off what they put together. There's real cooperative opportunity in a game that honestly all too often can be about competition. I am really excited about the potential of this.
Me too.
Honestly, even though it took forever, I'm happy they waited until they were pleased with it.
Well, in the interview on IGN, they tell us that they scrapped this and restarted a few different times before they finally got it right to make it fun for all 4 people instead of, you might have the driver. They cited an example of, well, maybe you just have the driver who's sitting there doing nothing while the other 3 guys are having fun. So these have been worked and reworked, and now they're coming in early 2015. All platforms, last gen and current gen, and they are free for everybody. So a lot to look forward to.
You've got the game, you get to play. So I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah, I really cannot wait to get my fingers and toes back in this and see what it's going to be like.
We'll keep an eye on it for early 2015. We'll obviously be covering the heists extensively here on IGN as soon as we get our chance to play them. So Jared Petty, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
For all things Grand Theft Auto, you're already in the right place here at IGN.